Hello everyone. Hello. How are you all doing? Welcome to Dallas City. Let me see. Look at Janet. Hello Malot. Is it your first tour with us? Malot. Oh, I have my running nose this morning. Vicky. Hello Vicky. Hello LS. Welcome back. Hello Elena. Hello Fred. I remember you joining before Fred. Welcome back. Hello Laurie. Hello Ashoka. Hello Jay. Oh Laurie, actually, welcome back. This is your... I have a feeling this is your third tour with us. Yeah, Sniffy's running nose. Too cold to ride this morning. Oh, Laurie, actually, I told you about bringing my niece and nephew on the tour, you know. But yesterday, they had too much fun with the birthday. And, you know, Tom, he actually woke up until 3 a.m. Yeah. Well, they, you know, watch some movies and they are playing something with their mom. So they're gonna skip the tour today. But, I mean, today we're gonna book a bus coming back to Saigon. And Spring, I think she opened a tour on, I don't know actually. She take care for the schedule and somewhere, you know, Monday, Tuesday next week, we're gonna do tour in Saigon and I'm gonna bring them with me. Yeah, back to Saigon after 1.5 months. Yeah, they're having a good, really good time actually. They enjoyed it a lot. The city, especially Tom, I would say. For the girls, she's like me, you know. She feel that it's too cold here, so she have to always in her blanket all the time. But Tom, he doesn't mind. So beautiful location. Yes, Malot. This is a very beautiful garden, and we're gonna walk around and exploring this area today. 22,000 meters square is the size of this bonsai garden, and yeah, and today we're gonna show you all the pretty bonsai and koi fish as well. Oops. Somebody have their coffee. Peck, hello Peck, all the way from Minnesota. Oh, so you come from same place as Lisa. See, hello Katie, hello Kamara, welcome back. How cold is it? Peck said. Well, temperature this morning is very cold for me for some reason. Temperature is around 15 to 22, 23 these days, Peck. So in Fahrenheit, that would be around 50 Fahrenheit to 60 Fahrenheit. 55 Fahrenheit, Spring said. Yeah. I know that a lot of you in Canada, you said that, oh, it's minus, you know, minus 30, minus 10, like that. And it sounds crazy for me. For me, 55 Fahrenheit is already freezing. So great temperature. Let me show you this one. I'm not sure you can see it from here, but because of the sun. But we call this one a foggy city, you know. You can see all the fog, kind of like it's cloudy all the time. Foggy city. Well, actually, we're gonna do the celebration today as well. Today 22 already, but you know, yesterday with my niece and nephew with the family. Today, Spring and I we're gonna do something strange, something weird together for the birthday. Happy birthday, Spring! Happy birthday! Adrian is here as well. Welcome, Adrian, all the way from Boston. These paper flowers are very pretty. Your gift. My heart is your gift, Spring. Oh, just kidding, Spring. What do you like for your gift today? Would you like some noodles? Or would you like some vermicelli? Uh, so, you can see some koi, but they are very tiny koi here. You know, not in Vietnam. We take this koi breeding thing very seriously as well, just like the one in Japan. And in a couple of minutes, I'm gonna show you the big one, the pricey one, you know. Yeah, this is nice. Adrian, when is your birthday? Welcome Marilyn, welcome Barbara, welcome Jenny, welcome Carl, welcome everyone. We're gonna show you a lot of beautiful bonsai today. This is actually the largest bonsai garden in Vietnam, the largest conifer bonsai garden. And yeah, we're gonna talk about different type of bonsai along with different type of koi fish today. So please invite your friends and family, and thank you for just joining today and have fun with us. What time is it there? Right now it's 7:15 a.m. in the morning. Peg, 7:15 a.m. In Vietnam. Yeah, I guess evening time for you. Evening time in Canada and in the States. Minnesota would be around 7 as well. 7 p.m. Peg. Happy birthday. Oh, 6:15. I see. Oh, so 1 hour. Yes, 6:15 p.m. So we got 30 seconds to go. Do you have bonsai at home? If you grow bonsai at home, can you let me know? Can you give me a thumbs up? I want to know how many people. LS, you got a bonsai at home? No, I wish I could. I say, Ashoka. How about if this is your first time with us? Can you please give us a thumbs up as well? I want to know how many new people are joining today. Ashoka, yes. And Peg. Oh, Peg, this is your first time as well. Oh, I have a feeling that you've been with us for some reason. Adelaide. And Malad, this is only your second time. I see, I see. So, welcome for joining. And, let me introduce about myself. My name is Hugh. So, Hieu, Hugh. And, the word Hugh, you can say it like huge, like huge, or like Hugh Jackman or something, that kind of name. And the word Hugh is mean respectful in our language. But so Hugh and Spring normally we do tour together, but today only Hugh and Spring staying home. So I'm gonna do a solo tour today. We're gonna talk about the bonsai, the koi fish, and most of the time we just walk slowly and relaxing in this garden today. So without further ado, let's get started. And by the way, if you have any question about Vietnam, about our religion, or about our culture, please feel free to type it down in the chat, and I will be more than happy to answer all the questions for you. Yeah, that was about it. Let's start our koi and bonsai exploration today. Let's go in search for the most beautiful bonsai in this garden, along with the biggest koi as well. Your English is impressive, Hugh. Thank you, Malat. Yeah, it is years and years of YouTube and Hollywood movies, It's kind of, I have this technique for myself. Pardon me. It kind of take time, but whenever I watch a movies, I tend to pause and listen to the conversation again and again and again like that. So for a typical Hollywood, it could take like 3 or 4 hours for me to finish. But I love that technique. Kind of, after a while, I have a hang of listening to the language, and I try to record my voice as well, like that. So I want to show you this one. There's actually a little spider, but you probably won't see them though. Too tiny. We got some decoration here. The name of the garden is Quê Garden LS. So QUE. The word Quê is basically mean the countryside, the countryside garden, like that. So you see a man and a woman, and actually they are called Lạc Long Quân and Âu Cơ, right? I tell you the story a few times, but anyhow, you can see they are actually leaning on an egg, and over here you can also see there are 2 more big eggs. Look like kind of like chicken egg, but they actually are human eggs. And according to the legend, these 2, they are our very first Vietnamese, like that. According to the legend, they give birth to 100 eggs, and then 50 of them would go to the ocean area, to the coast, and 50 of them would climb back on the mountainous area, on the plateaus, like the city that we are in right now, around 1,500 meters above the sea level. We see the division that way because if you look at our country, should I show you the map? Yes. If you look at our country, it's like a very long, very long actually, and very narrow country. And most of our land is right by the coast, by the ocean. So yeah, the idea is 50 of us, like half the population, live near the coastal area, and the other half live in these plateaus, the mountainous area. And this is actually interesting. They named this one the heaven gate, the stairs to the heaven gate, And now let's walk all the way to the heaven gate, and I'm gonna show you the glimpse of the heaven of Đà Lạt. Oh, I choose to do a different route today because this is our 3rd or 4th tour in the bonsai garden already. I have to admit, I'm very scared climbing these stairs, especially it's very wet at the same time. you know. Oh, terrifying. So, oops. Yeah, there is a handrail. And I have a fear of heights at the same time, so there's no handrail. But anyhow, you will see there's something like that. These houses are the place where people used to plant flowers and berries. The significant fruit in the city is strawberries. So if you come traveling here and seeing these houses, they use it to plant strawberries most of the time. And we are not in a single plateaus. This central highland is in several of plateaus and is surrounded by the mountain range like that. The highest mountain range is called the Lang Biang. The Lang Biang would have the height of 2,929 meters. So I don't know how is it in feet. You have to do the conversion for me, all right? 2,929 meters is the highest mountain in this area. And yeah, this is just a glimpse of the city. This is actually a new city, you know. It's pretty new. It was discovered by the French. And right now it's the people here. They develop the whole city with it, but they focus more on tourism like that, which is very different because in Vietnam, our economy is strongly depends on agriculture and aquaculture. But for this city, because of this kind of terrain, they just focus on tourism. It's not suitable for planting a lot of crops, actually. So, time for the bonsai. Yeah, thank you for being so interactive with me. You keep me happy, you know. And please type out any wondering that you have as well. But anyhow, the word bonsai, it literally means plantation in a pot, like that. Plantation in a pot. And it's an art form that was originally from China. The Chinese, they do a lot of miniature as an art form and as a gift to the royal palaces, to the royal family. But when coming to Japan, the art of bonsai, you know, it took a whole new level. So the Japanese, they took it very seriously, and they are very creative with it, like that. And here you will see another statues. So these statues, it describe the story of the indigenous people that live here. You know, it's a love story between a man and a woman, but then the woman have to sacrifice for her love, for her boyfriend. And out of her sacrifice, all the tribes and all the villages, they would decide to unite it together. So it's a love story about unity as well. Way to heaven, a tricky. So right now, I'm gonna cover the most important way that we use to, to differentiate or to categorize a bonsai tree. And I'm gonna talk about a few more basic way that you can tell the difference between them as well. So, bonsai styling. In the Japanese bonsai tradition, each bonsai normally is must conform to a clearly defined styles, you see. And there are a lot of styles for bonsai, but I'm gonna show you this picture over here. You can feel free to take a postcard of them. We're gonna discuss about the styling of bonsai right now. All right, so I know that it's maybe a bit dark, but we're gonna discuss about the first 5, the formal upright, the informal upright, the half cascade, full cascades, and slanting. So those are normally the 5 most common type of bonsai styling. In Japan, same in Vietnam, Korea, and China, in the eastern part of Asia. The first one that we want to talk about is the formal upright or chokan in Japanese. And you can see that with this style, a bonsai tree, they are trained in the style that mimics the growth of a tree under the perfect natural conditions. So it should be balanced, but not perfectly symmetrical. And in this style, the trunk, it should have an obvious taper with the widest point at the bottom. And the formal upright style is considered to be the easiest for the beginner, like that. So the best pieces for training in the formal upright style are the junipers, pines, spruces, because of their naturally taper shape. So let me give you an example. Oh, we got actually, this is a very tiny tree, compared to all the massive one in this garden. But as you can see, this idea is with the formal upright, our tree is simply grow up. It's kind of straight, Look at the body, very straight. And this is like for the beginning, normally for the novice beginner, they will start with this one. And you can see the conifer. Most of the bonsai are the conifer. But keep in mind that any kind of tree could become a bonsai. Yeah, so this is like the simplest form of styling our bonsai. Will you be sharing why or how bonsai came about? I see. Why or how bonsai came about? According to my knowledge, so the Chinese in the beginning, they want to make something pretty. They want to, we call it miniature, right? And then it is a gift. Normally, it's offering to the emperor like that. But for the Japanese, they see it that the art of bonsai is not only something that beautiful as a gift, but it is also a form of practicing mindfulness as well. So they see that the bonsai, a tree, it's like a human in a way. We take care for them, we take care for every part of them. And then we have to be very patient with them, like that. And it took talent as well. So for the Japanese, bonsai is not only for the royal family, but it's for everybody. And they see it as a Zen practice, like that. So yeah, that's my answer, LS. Originally from China, but the concept, it got changed eventually when it traveling to Japan. So you see, another formal upright here. And let me show you. Formal upright, even though it's a very basic style, but it could be very beautiful as well, It bonsai, it doesn't have to be so complicated to be pretty like that. Look at this one, beautiful. And right now, let's go to the second style. We have something called informal upright or moyogi. So with this style, you can see it's less strict than the formal upright. This form is the most commonly seen in nature, actually. And for now, the trunk, you can see the trunk, it can twist, turn, and change direction as it would in nature based on the environment. And they can grow away from the wind or upwards toward the sunlight, like that. And most species of the study plants are suitable for training in this style. But the most popular one are marble tree. So if you're from Canada, you should start with this style maybe. Marble tree are actually the most suitable tree to train in the moyogi, the informal upright. So, example, not going straight. So let's take a look at this tree right here, all right? But this is actually very pretty as well. And a lot of you may be wondering why they have the white. Their body, you see, is a bit white. The reason is that not for this tree or for the bonsai. The white is natural. It's just a body part of the tree. But in Vietnam, if you see a tree that have the white body part, it is because people painted a layer of it's a lacquer, to prevent all the termites and all the mealybugs and all the insects from eating the tree like that. So this one, a more yogi, informal upright. You see the difference? With the formal upright, the trunk it just goes straight, without any twisting, without any turning. But with our informal upright, you can see the trunk is kind of turning a little bit like that. And it looked like prettier in a way. Yeah, those like pine, conifers, tree, ls. But in Vietnam, normally, if you go to the land, to the coast, then we tend to do ban yan tree, kumquat tree. Those are a few common bonsai. Yeah, very nice, peaceful music as well. Let me ask you a fun question. Two questions actually. Can you guess how old would be the oldest living koi fish in the world? And what is the most expensive price of the koi fish? Mala say 50 years. Yeah, two questions for you. Who is not who? How old is the oldest living koi fish? And the price of the expensive koi fish in the world, how much would it be? You see, the koi, the word koi, K-O-I, koi it literally means a carp fish. And in the beginning, they look very ugly. They actually look somewhat like that one over there. Yeah, I hope he's not offended, when I pointing him like that. But anyhow, koi is actually, the word koi means a carp, and that is not that pretty. And the Chinese, they used to just eat them, we eat them. Rice farmer eat them, consuming them as a form of food. But then the thing is, during the 1700s, when koi, the rice farmer in Japan, they see these koi that have the patterns on their scales, and they decided to breed them just as how we breed our dogs, just as how we breed our prize dogs like that. And right now, as you see, it's the whole art form of itself. And this is just like bonsai. This is considered to be a mindfulness practice and a very zen practice. Breeding and raising koi fish. So back to my question. The oldest koi fish in the world, her name is Hanako. She lived up to 226 years old. 226 years old. So congratulations, Ashoka, you are right. She was born in 1751 and she passed away in 1977, you see. So she been through the two big world wars and she been to the industrialization time in Japan as well. That brings us to another point. How do we know the age of the koi then? Well, this is very important, all right? We look at their scale, and on their scale, you can see that they have the ring, and one ring, it would equal to 2 years, like that. That's how we know the age of the koi. You see, once again, we look at the ring on their scale, and one ring, normally, it will be equal to 2 years. So the koi that you see here, they are very pretty, but actually they are very long living fish. Most of these koi, under the right condition, they could outlive us. And that's why in Japan, when they grow the koi, they have to prepare to give it to their younger generation if they pass away. Very, very beautiful koi. And at the same time, every year in Japan, and actually in Vietnam as well, I think in China, the same, they will have the koi competition. And the most expensive koi, she actually win the competition, the koi championship in 2017. And her price is $1.8 million. I know it's a crazy number, right? $1.8 million. Like that. No. Please don't eat the $1.8 million. No. Otherwise, you will have a very expensive stomach then. And koi are very expensive. In Vietnam, they are always the most expensive pet fish. To buy, if you buy a tiny one, a small one, it could be cheap, like $2. But if you are like really into it, if you want a pretty one, then the price is range from around $1 to $5 million. So 50 to around $200-300 like that. So that's words for the koi. Let's come back to the final 3 style of bonsai. All right. So the next style of bonsai I want to talk about is, this is a bit more advanced. We call it slanting styles. And with slanting style, it's called shakan. And for shakan, you can see that the trunk would slant in one direction, and the roots often are larger on the opposite side to provide balance, like that. And you can think of a tree that they are reaching to one side for sunlight, like that. So some bonsai trees that have been trained to slant look as if they will fall over, because of the angle at which they lean on. Most species are suitable for this style, for slanting, but the most popular one are these one, are the conifers. Let me see, slanting. Let me look for the example over there. Yes, slanting styles, not for the beginner, but you see the idea is for the artists, they want the tree to lean a little bit on one side, and again, look like they are lacking sunlight, so they have to lean to receive the sunlight. Slanting style. And conifer is the name of our tree. Any special nutrient needed? I don't know the specific nutrient to tell you, but yes, normally most of the bonsai, they require a lot of specific nutrients for themselves. Yeah, and the soil, they take care for the soil, the nutrient, and they are very well fed, generously water and fed. Slanting styles. And we won't go to this style today, but if you see something like this, then you know that it could take generation to grow. And probably, I would say in this whole garden today that we're exploring, these 2 trees, they are the 2 most expensive trees in the whole garden. I can't tell you the price, but you see this one and this one over here, they are probably the most expensive. The tree growing from the bark. Tree growing from the bark could be, else could be, and normally it's a plantation in a pot. So any kind of tree, we took them in a pot and we take care for them as a bonsai, like that. Were these bonsai donated? If so, by whom? These bonsai are not donated. Malad, you see, actually the owner of this place, he do it. He grow the bonsai, and actually it's like a clubs, you can say, where different artists they can come here. It's like an open space for them to create their bonsai. But the owner here, he have the land, he have the passion with bonsai. He started with it first, and then he invite everybody to join. So normally bonsai pretty personal. If a man grow their bonsai, you know, they tend to keep it at home. Actually, yeah. So I'm showing you this one, the most special and the most expensive bonsai in the whole garden. And actually during the Lunar New Year in Saigon, we will have a competition about bonsai as well. You know, normally the men they gonna bring their bonsai to the park, and then they're gonna compete to each other to see who win like that. So Spring and I, we actually have a flower tour along with probably bonsai, and we may show you some of them in Saigon. So right now, let's go to our two final style of bonsai. All right. The two final style of bonsai is also the advanced one, the cascade kengai, kengai cascade. This design it would mimic the growth of a tree on the side of a mountain. So in this style, the tree growing tip it would extend below the base of the container. So you see the natural tendency of a tree is to grow upwards. So it can be very tricky, very difficult to encourage vigor in a bonsai that is forced to grow downwards. And cascade styles is not recommended for the beginners as well, you see. So many species of plants will adapt to the cascade training actually, but the juniper, they are the favorite for this kind of training. I will show you the cascade, but then, you know, finally we have the semi-cascade, and they're very similar, Hankengai is the name, and it's similar to the cascade style, but the semi-cascade, you can see that it refers to a tree whose lowest point of the trunk must be below the rim of the pot, but not at its base, like that. I don't see any of these cascades, but if I see them, I will show you, you see. For now, let me see what I can do. You can't look at this animation instead. Yeah. You see the idea of cascade, the tree, instead of growing upward, it's growing downward like that. This is, I think this is what we call blooming. Yeah, growing like the idea having the whole forest on top of the mountain like that. Let me take a look at the chat, all right? Let me see. Pexet, you have mentioned men. Is it an art that really isn't practiced by women? No, it's practiced by both gender. But I mentioned about the men because normally the ladies, when they practice something, they tend to be very quiet with it, you know? They don't want to do competition or anything. But for the men, it's more popular for them, yes, but they tend to want to show their their product, you know, their tree to everyone like that. For the ladies, however, they can do it. They can do bonsai and koi fish as well, but normally they do it just for the fun of it, you know, like that. Yeah, in a way, you can say, you know, men want to show up, but anyhow, it's like that. Malot said, how were they protected during the Vietnam War? Actually, so this place, however, the Central Highland and most of the mountainous area in Vietnam, it wasn't infected by the war that much, you see, because in the beginning, there were not a lot of people living here to begin with. And also because of the terrain, because no people living here. So, you know, the war, most of the war, it happens in the big city, like Saigon, or like the center of Vietnam, like Huế, our former capital, like that. So when we come back to Saigon, we're gonna talk more about the Vietnam War, and we're gonna show you a lot of that place that has been damaged in the country. But in the mountainous area, normally people don't fight in this area. And actually, in China, that's the good point. How do the bonsai didn't get destroyed during the war? Actually, a lot of them did. A lot of oldest tree, a lot of these oldest bonsai in the world, it located in China and Japan. But then we don't know anymore because a lot of them, they was bombed. They was bombed during the war and during all the revolution like that. Let's come back to the koi a little bit. Oh, they have the to create the oxygen for the fish. But I mentioned the koi fish, it live for a very long time. But if we don't know how to do it right, it may die in a few years. But then for the koi coloring, let's talk about the koi coloring. Well, the koi coloring normally they would have the ideas for the koi for the regular competition. These geese making so much noise. Can you hear it? For the regular competition, to name the top koi, then the judges and the buyers, they would pay attention to 4 things. The first one is how healthy their skin look. The second one is to their size, to their body shape. The third one is, this is very tricky, how gracefully the fish move in water. But then the most important one is always, the most important trait is all about the koi coloring. So the best koi, it will have a good balance of colors and patterns according to their variety. But the most winning fish, often you see it just boiled down to 3 types, and they would have the orange red color, white and black. And let me show you this one as well. This picture, I know that it's not that clear, when you see it through the screen, because with my phone it's dark. But the name for them would be Kohaku, Sanke, and Showa. You see the similarity. Let me give you the example. They will have either orange or red color, white and black on their body. Those are normally, typically, they are the most expensive koi. The reason is that in Japan, the red and white color, first of all, it is their national flag. And secondly, the red color, it would symbolize luck, luck. And also in eastern part of Asia, it symbolizes power as well. The white color, on the other hand, it actually symbolizes purity like that. And the black, however, if you see a black koi, or the koi that have the black cell on their skin, then the black, it symbolizes masculinity. It symbolizes masculinity, and it's also symbolizes fatherhood at the same time. So you see, again, come here. You see this one over here? They are the most expensive. If you see red, white, and black, they are normally the most expensive. Those are, I could say, adults, Yeah, those are, most of them are the adult fish, but I can see some teenagers swimming around as well. So they live together. The fish, what do I mean by adult? Well, the koi fish is actually, it can grow very big under the right condition and nutrient. The koi could grow to around 24 to 26 inches, and that would be around 60 to 70 centimeters. And normally the koi is gonna grow very fast in a couple of years. So it's gonna grow like 2 to 4 to 6 inches every year, and then it's gonna slow way down. For the female koi, however, they tend to grow a bit bigger than the male one. but the male one, it tends to have a nicer color compared to the female. Yeah, koi is basically carp fish, Christopher. The word koi is a Japanese word. Translate to English, it means carp. So you see, again with the color, red, white, and black are always the most important. But koi fish, normally they actually have 6 different type of color. Yeah, 6 different type of color, and those would be red, yellow, black, white, blue, and metallic. Yeah, 6 different kind of color. So now, in order to get a beautiful, reddish orange pattern like the fish that I just showed you, so we need to select a fish. We need to choose a fish that have a white body and a lot of red cells that concentrate in large patches like that. And the red and white, like I mentioned, they are important color because they are the national flag of the Japanese. So now we're gonna say goodbye to our koi and come back to the bonsai again. But like usual, in the end, I'm gonna do maybe a few minutes in silence, just walking in silence, and I will show you the koi again. Bonsai. Now, thank you for joining so far. We are coming to the end of the tour. But you see, now I have a question for you. Can you let me know if I took the tree out? You see the bonsai here? If I took it out, and if I plant it on the ground, if I plant it on a normal soil, do you think our bonsai will continue to live? Or do you think it may die? Thank you, Marilyn and Laurie, for the tip. I really appreciate it as always. And thank you for joining and having fun with me today. You see, this is the style that I mentioned earlier, the semi-cascade. So the idea is, right, the tree is grow downwards. But for semi-cascade, it is not extended below the container. Leaf, yes, leaf. Mala say no, I see. You want to show this tool to your mom, I see. Let me see if I can do it in Saigon as well. We also have a lot of bonsai garden in Saigon. You see, it's gonna live. Actually, Christopher and Mallet. Bonsai is a plantation in a pot. But if we plant it back to the normal soil, it gonna live and it's just gonna grow like a normal tree, actually. So, as long as we don't abandon them, if we take care for them in the normal soil, then it's gonna grow like a normal tree. So it's like this. You see, why don't the bonsai tree grow bigger then? I want you to know that we have a different way to see the bonsai. And part of the way that bonsai are classified is actually by their size. So you see, we have the shohin. The shohin is actually a tree that is so tiny that you can hold it in your palm like that. Very, very, very small tree. And they don't have the shohin in this garden. But you can imagine a shohin is a tree like this. You see the hand? It's very, very small, very, very small like that. It's look kind of cute in a way. And secondly, we got what we call a shuhin. What we call a shohin. A shohin is a tree that normally, I'm sorry, I ran. Chuhin. Chuhin is a mid-size. It's up to around 24 inches. So 24 inches, it would be around 60 centimeters. And finally, we got the really big ones. So those are the really big ones. They are classified by the number of men it takes to move the tree around. For example, we got this tree over here. This is what we call a two-man carry. So it's like it take around 2 men to carrying a tree around like that. And then let's say we got this one. This could be what we call a four-man carry. It takes four men to carrying this conifer. And if you see something like this here, which is very beautiful, the blooming tree, but if this is this giant, so this could be a 20-man carry like that. So that's actually another way that we classify our bonsai too, by their size. We got Shohin, the tiny one. We got Chuhin, typically the mid-sized one that people grow, around 60, 70 centimeters. And then we got the really big one. Nowadays in Vietnam, normally people grow the really big one, And normally they do it for a long time, passed to generation like that. Would you know the price of the tree? They don't have it for sale, LS, so I don't know the price of the tree. But for my guess, from my experience, if you see the big one like this, and if in this styles, in either slanting, or semi cascade, it would cost around 20 to 30 million dollars. So 20 to 30, it would be around $1,000 to $1,500 like that. And of course, if you see a tree like I showed you before, it's like growing on a rock and on another tree, then that one is, who knows? It could be like $5,000, which is very expensive, especially in Vietnam, But a lot of people, they could afford it. They have the money for it. I see. Yes, scissor and pruners. I don't know any more special tool that they use though. But whenever I look at my dad, and even for the professional artists, I see those things. Scissor and pruner and pruners are the thing that they use to take care for their bonsai. So I noticed that it's actually time to end the tour. It's nearly 45 minutes right now. So like usual, I have to say, a lot of you are new to our tour today. And I wish you have a lot of luck. Like always, I wish you have a lot of luck. I wish you have a lot of prosperity in life. And may you always stay in good health. May you always feel healthy in yourself. And may you always feel strong. And may you get blessed in whatever you do in life. Another thing is that 2022 is coming. So, for the Lunar New Year is coming soon. And for this New Year, I wish that, may a lot of positive changes will happen in your life. And may you always live in harmony and joy. So, you're joining the tour with Hiếu and Spring from Vietnam. And normally we do tour in different locations in our country. Thank you for joining. If you have anything to do, please feel free to leave the meeting. I know that you may have another tour to join, or maybe it's pretty late in your home. So please feel free to leave. I don't cover any more information today. But if you want to stay, right now we're gonna take a silence walk. I think, I'm gonna show you some flowers along with some special bonsai as well. It's gonna be around, maybe 2, 3, or maybe 5 minutes. But if you want to leave, then we will see you in the next tour. All right. So once again, thank you for coming and staying with me so far. I really appreciate it. And thank you for all the tips and all the support. It does help us a lot during this time as well. So time for the chat. Yeah, I have to take a look at the chat. I think the owner just arrived. This is his car. But anyhow, right now it's like a silence walk along with just a little narration, And I'm gonna answer all your questions. Thank you, Sid. Thank you, Vicky. Thank you, LS, as always, for joining. Thank you, Laurie. Thank you, Marlet. Really appreciate it. Your second tour with us. See you in Saigon. See you all in Saigon, the largest city in Vietnam. Thank you, Marilyn. Wow. Thank you, LS. Thank you, thank you. Oh, Daydre. I actually, I know that I read this word before, but I don't remember the meaning of the word hedges for some reason. Let me ask Spring to do the translation for me, and I will answer your question. Are these trees, are they bonsai hedges? How many years can they reproduce? Probably about a koi, Maro said. How many years can they reproduce? Let me see. Up more than 20 years, they gonna stop. I would say typically, I'm not sure about this, but my guess would be 7 to 10 years are the best time for for this koi to reproduce. And normally the breeder, they have to be very careful with all the selecting process. So that's another important thing, right? About the koi is the bloodlines. So, well, for some of these koi to be this pretty, is the result of decades of selective breeding, like that. And yeah, but the question is about just about reproduce. So my answer would be around 7 to 10 years. By the way, I just want to let you know that there are actually more than 120 varieties of koi, So just to compare, there are about 200 breeds of dogs. So 120 different breeds of koi. So the idea, what I'm saying is, the breeders must choose wisely. One breeder, for example, actually report that he started with 3 million fish and choose 15,000 to rise over the first year. And from that, he chooses 1,000 only to continue to grow in the second year. Feed me, feed me. All right. I don't think we have any more question, but if you have one, please brought it up. And right now, let's take 2-3 minutes in silence to walk around. All right. Thank you, Laurie. Your grandfather used to do it as well. That's nice to hear. Do they live in the wild too? Yes, they do. Mallet. Not this colorful again. The colorful is about the bloodlines, selecting specific color. But in the wild, they live as a cub. So let me see again. It's like that, like this one over here. If you see something in the wild, yeah, they look like that black, just like not really black, but kind of dark, like gray in a way. It's very ugly, according to uh, according to the human perspective. Let's say. These dark one, normally they live in the wild and they are very big, and the dark color is very not that pretty for us, but it's a perfect protection for them in the wild, prevent them from all the predators. Before they call the colorful one, then we breed them. Thank you, Dolly. Hey, pounds. Oh. Before Mississippi, I see mallet. Goat. Ôi, chị ơi cho mình hỏi là cái chỗ này mà mình mở ra năm đầu tiên là bao lâu vậy chị? Được 2 năm rồi hả chị? À vậy cũng mới hả? I just asked the staff, and she said it only 2 years. Actually, yeah. I know that this place is pretty new when it opens to public, but 2 years. Yeah, 2 years. Mallet. Yeah, I remember when they first opened, they are very, very popular, you know, because people come here and it's kind of traveling to Japan in a way. They also have all the kimonos for people to wear and take photos. No, LS, I wouldn't. He loved bonsai and he really, you know, I mean, he read a lot of books about it, about tree in general. But he never, you know, bring his tree to a show, to a competition. So yes, that would not. He's never consider himself to be a professional or anything. But maybe if he bring his tree to the show, he could win a prize, and he would get the recognition. I cannot define if he a professional or not. Very good question, LS. Let me ask my dad today. No, he probably say no, but just for the fun of it. Oh yeah. Yeah. Well, for me, it take more money to grow, and I probably won't last that long compared to the bonsai, you know. But ủa cô làm này lâu chưa cô? 2 năm hả cô? Ủa giờ lúc chỗ này mới mở là cô làm luôn đúng không cô? À 2 tháng hả cô? Dạ. Dạ. Should I show you the geese? Ah, yes, why not? Ủa, vậy mấy con ngỗng này người ta nuôi để làm gì vậy chị? À vậy thôi gì? Con tưởng nuôi con ngỗng để cho nó ăn côn trùng hay gì? À dạ. Dạ con cảm ơn ạ. I just say thank you to them mà nó. But I don't say thank you from America, you know, because I feel it's a bit weird. So just thank you like that. The owner told me, I'm sorry, the ladies, she told me that these geese, it's just there for the fun of it, you know, not really for the pet or anything. Oh, actually, it's 8:15 right now. Day 3. AM, yes. Yeah, 12 hours different. And it's Friday. Friday in Toronto, David. It's Saturday now in Vietnam. Yes. Oh, we got a big storm coming. I see. Um, yeah, stay home, stay safe. Later. See. All right. Have a lovely evening, everyone, and we'll see you in Saigon. All right.